And welcome to Hulk Gaming. It's been a while, guys, since I've live streamed. Hopefully, everybody's having a good week. Hopefully, you're having a safe week, staying in, not getting out, and staying away from this COVID-19 stuff. This is definitely some serious stuff. In my area, there are a couple hundred, I think, confirmed, cases now, and so I'm definitely staying in myself, and just wanted to pop in and go over something that I found today on Wowhead that I think is going to be very interesting uh, as far as the Shadowlands. Now, I'll give it a few minutes for anyone to get in. I see we have some people already popping in. Welcome. Be sure to let us know who we have and where you're from if it's your first time here. Be sure to subscribe. Also, how is the sound? I'm hoping it's not like echoing like it did once before. I think I got that fixed, so let me know if it is all working. Uh, and like I said, we'll give it a few extra minutes for some people to start popping in, and then we'll get back to the reason for this video, or this live stream rather. And I'm going to go ahead and you guys are not going to believe this because typically I play Horde when I'm streaming. I don't play a lot of Alliance. In general, I don't play a lot of Alliance. And it's no offense to the Alliance players. It's just the Horde has always been my way. I started out as Alliance, didn't particularly care for it, and started Horde. Went Horde and have stayed Horde ever since. So, let's see here. I don't know if you guys have ever played or watched a TV show called Restaurant Impossible, but Robert Irvine, of course, is the chef that takes that show to a whole new level, and that is the name of the character I have here, Robert Irvine. It was more or less a joke with a friend of mine, and he dared, and I did. So, but we're going to go ahead and give it a few extra minutes. It's only 8:03. We're going to give it a couple extra minutes for some people to pop in. And then we will go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing so far with all this pandemic? Hopefully you and your families are staying safe and staying healthy. I couldn't imagine the scare of losing a family member to this. My father-in-law, as most of you know, he's been a very sick man over the last couple of years, and he's in the hospital as we speak. And they just recently tested him for this COVID-19. So it's definitely a situation that hits home, and one that I have a personal stake in. Because believe it or not, guys, I'm one of the lucky ones because I actually get along with my father-in-law. So, and welcome. I see we have other people popping in. This live stream is going to be about, you guessed it, the place changes with Shadowlands. Now let me go ahead and bring that up. I'll put the game in the background. And here we go. Okay, first, now, I don't know about you, but with the Shadowlands hopefully just around the corner, I mean, I'm hoping it's not too far away. But with that being said, I've been wondering, my character, my hunter, my warrior, I play a little bit of everything, but I've always wondered what changes. Will it be good changes? Will it be bad? What is going to affect my character? Now, first, as a hunter, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to the hunter, and then we'll go back to all the others. All hunter specs are now receiving the following abilities. Baseline abilities are Arcane Shot, Eye of the Beast, Hunter's Mark, Kill Shot, Scare Beast, and Tranquilizer, which is fantastic. Stable size will have a significant increase. We've needed that for some time because, quite honestly, if you're like me and you collect a lot of pets, you're going to run out of space very quick. So, hopefully, we get a pretty good size increase, like we're supposed to. Beast Mastery. Now, Beast Mastery is a great spec, but it's not one that I've ever been a huge fan of, and I don't know why, because, well, Beast, I love pets. But I'm more of a marksman hunter. But let's go ahead and take a look at Beast Mastery. Bloodshed. Beast Mastery hunters teach their companions to tear into the target. The unfortunate quarry will bleed significantly, causing them to take more damage from their pet. Scent of Blood. Reworked. This is passive now and activates when Bestial Wrath is used. Venomous Bite. Also reworked. Move to a Spitting Cobras. Place in the talent tree. When the Bestial Wrath ends, the Cobra will come to the aid of the hunter in combat. Fantastic. I mean, that's something that I'm looking forward to because I'm like I said, I'm big on pets, but again, I'm not Beastmaster, so that's not something that I would get. I see that we have quite a few people coming in. Be sure to speak up. Let me know who we have. Marksman. Now, this is my jam when it comes to my hunter. Deadeye. Lets the hunter store 2 charges of kill shot. It also makes aim shot recharge faster for a short time whenever the kill shot is used. Fantastic. I mean, that's going to help us a lot. Binding Shackles causes enemies rooted by their baseline binding shot to deal less damage to the hunter for a short time after being released from the root. Okay. Volley. Now, I use Volley a lot. I also use Rapid Fire a lot, so this one will definitely hit home. Enable the marksman hunter to rain arrows down on a targeted area over a short period of time. It also empowers the hunter with trick shot buff, causing all of their aim shots and rapid fire abilities to ricochet and hit up to 5 additional targets for half the damage of the entire duration of the volley. Now, that is absolutely fantastic, and it's going to definitely give marksman hunters a lot of damage. Hydra's Bite. Now, this is for survival. Damage increased to Hydra's Bite, Butchery, Steel Trap, Tip of the Spear, and Flanking Strike. Also, Chakrams has a reduction in focus cost. Now, Next, we can go to any of these specs, any place, I should say. Would any of you like to tell me which one you want to do first? It's up to you. If nobody picks, then I'll go ahead and do Death Knight. I'll give you guys a few seconds to let me know. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on with the Death Knight. All Death Knight specs are receiving following abilities, baseline activities, or abilities rather. Death and Decay, Anti-Magic Zone, Lichborn, Raised Dead, and Chain of Ice, which is fantastic. Sacrificial Pact, which sacrifices one of the undead minions, siphoning their health and causing them to explode and deal damage to all nearby enemies, which, that's kind of going to be like a suicide bomber kind of thing. You're sending them in and you're going to blow them up. You're going to take their life and just make them into a bomb. Blood is Rune Tap is now baseline. Blood Tap allows Death Knights to consume essences from slain enemies to generate one rune and is repeatable whenever a bone shield charge is used. Relish for Blood, or Relish in Blood, will significantly heal these bloody bruisers for each active bone shield charge and grants 5 runic power when Death and Decay is cast while Crimson Scourge is active. Now, that's going to do a lot of damage. I think it will, at least. For me, I play the Blood DK when I play my Death Knight. Frost is also great and can now choose between one hand or two hands again, which is fantastic. Frostworm Fury is now baseline. And the Hypromatic Presence halves the runic power cost of the abilities for a moderate amount of time. So, as you can see, the Death Knight and the Hunter are getting a lot of help. The Unholy DK will be able to summon Gargoyles, its baseline. Army of the Damned. Army of the Damned returns as an even stronger force with a familiar and faithful recruit. A Magus of the Dead. These formidable magic wielders have fought side by side with Maldroxus, Bannersman, and their presence rallies unholy Death Knights, ghoulish armies, lobbing Frostbolt and Shadowbolt spells into the enemy. Now, Army of Dead reduces the Death Coil and Epidemic case. Apocalypse reduces the Death Coil and Epidemic case, and now also comes with a Magus of Death. Mastery of Dreadblade now increases the Death Knight's shadow damage and damage of minions. So, as you can see, as far as the DK goes, no matter what spec you are, it's going to rock. I mean, you're going to have a lot of damage. You're going to have a lot of abilities, some of which are coming back, and in my way of looking at it, should have never been removed. So next, any suggestions? Do you have any requests? Which clays do you want to take a look at next? So far, we've done Death Knights and Hunters, and I'm open to doing any that you guys request. Just let me know. Okay, if no preference, we'll go with Demon Hunter, which is next in line. And All Demon Hunter specs are now receiving the following abilities: Immobilization Aura, which is now baseline, and now share a Fury resource. Havoc, Unending Hatred, expands for Fury maximum capacity, which is awesome. Essence Break deals chaos damage and significantly increases the damage that both Chaos Strike and Blade Dance deal for a short duration. Looks like Vengeance got more this time around. Fell Devastation is now baseline. Demonic will cause the Demon Hunter to temporarily enter into the Metamorphosis form following a Fell Devastation. I will definitely do Paladin the very next one, and thank you for letting me know. The Bulk Extraction immediately rips a soul fragment from up to 5 enemies around the Demon Hunter. Ruinous Bulkward increases the healing of Fell Devastation and converts overhealing into an absorption shield that lasts for a moderate amount of time. Okay, so as you can see, everything is looking good here, folks, on this. Now, if this is your first time here, please do be sure to subscribe to the channel. And next, we are going to be doing the Paladin as requested. All Paladin specs are receiving the following abilities. Baseline abilities will be Blessing of Sacrifice, Hammer of Wrath, Sense Undead, Shield of Righteousness, Turn Evil, Word of Glory. Holy Power is back and to all specs. A generator example would be Crusader Strike and Hammer of Wrath. A spender example would be Word of Glory and Shield of Righteousness. Auras are returning. Concentration, Crusader, and Devotion auras return to all Paladins. Fantastic. Retribution aura has been reworked, allows Paladins to avenge fallen allies with a short burst of avenging wrath. Oh, that's going to be great. Divine Purpose is now available to all specs. Holy Avenger, also available to all specs, a generator of huge burst of holy power in a short window. Seraphine is now available to all specs. Spend holy power to increase the secondary stat for a moderate amount of time. Now the Holy Paladin will get Glimmer of Light, now at 50. Level 100 before the squish. Aura Mastery now affects the returning auras, not talents. Protection. You will get Shining Light, which is critical hits with Judgment makes your next Word of Glory free. That's totally awesome. Retribution. Wake of Ashes is now a baseline. Empyrean Power is now a talent. Crusader Strike has a change to make your next Divine Storm cost no holy power and deal more damage. So far, I mean, we've looked at Demon Hunter, Death Knight, Hunter, and now Paladin. Anybody got a request as to what class they would like to see next? Let me know, and we'll definitely go check it out. And what time we give it just a few seconds. Again, guys, please, and I cannot stress this enough, be sure to stay in play games. Stay in and enjoy World of Warcraft or any other game that you want to enjoy, but stay in and stay safe. This COVID 19 crap is a killer. I mean, it's not something to be taken lightly. Uh, Next, since there is no request, we'll take a look at. Okay, a warrior. Please, as that is the other place that I play. Perfect, not a problem. I also play warrior. I play the two hand. I cannot get used to playing one hand, and I've never been a tank. I tried it for a while, was not me. Okay, warrior. All warrior specs are receiving the following abilities. New baseline abilities are challenging shout, execute, hamstring, ignore pain, intervene, shield block, shield slam, slam, spell reflection, and whirlwind. So all warriors, no matter what spec, will get that. Shattering Throw now also deals devastating damage against foes protected by an absorbed shield. So, before they would hide behind the shield and we couldn't do anything. We'd have to get behind them. Now that Shattering Throw is going to still do damage, which is fantastic. New baseline talents, Double Time and War Machine. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. Arms. Now, arms has not been my thing, for quite a while. Hopefully, they've made some good changes. Piercing Howl can now be used to slow enemies. Fantastic. That'll make it a lot easier. Cleave is now a talent. Well, it's always been a talent, but has been redesigned. After striking 3 targets with Whirlwind, Cleave will strike all enemies in front to inflict a mastery deep wounds bleed. Kelly, you got it. I'll do Druid next just for you, and good to see you around. I'm glad that you're here. Okay, next, Deadly Calm has been redesigned, completely removes the rage cost of the next 4 abilities. Wow. And passively increases the maximum rage by a moderate amount. Dreadnought has been redesigned and now takes on the Seismic Wave Azurite trait, dealing damage to enemies in line when hitting 2 targets with Sweep and Strike. It will create 2 seismic waves. So, I mean, it's going to definitely up the damage that an armed warrior does. Fury is Fervor of Battle, Whirlwind, also casts Slam on the primary target and generates an additional rage. Onslaught brutally attacks an enemy while enraged for a large amount of damage and generates some rage. Now, if you notice, they don't tell how much, so I'm hoping that we get a pretty good lot. I may actually start playing my warrior as my main in Shadowlands if they play this round. Wrecking Ball grants a moderate change for the next whirlwind to deal a devastating amount of damage. Wow, that's awesome. Fresh Meat has been redesigned. Now causes Bloodthirst to always grant enrage. Cool. The first time Bloodthirst strikes a target. Throbbing Berserker has been re-imaged or reimagined. Upon reaching 100 rage, gain haste and movement speed over a few seconds. Now, protection. Everybody wants to know about protection because You know, if your protection warrior dies, it's not good for the group. Best served cold has been reimagined, increasing the damage of revenge, boosted significantly whenever dodging or parrying, removes revenge's rage cost. Wow. Menace redesign. Intimidating shout causes all enemies to cower in fear for a substantial amount of time, knocking back all targets except the primary one. Indomitable has been redesigned. Passively increases maximum health by a moderate amount, and spending rage heals while the ability is active. Never Surrender has been redesigned. Increases ignore pain depending on the amount of missing health. So that's where the warrior's going to stand. Let me go back up and find the druid. Come on. Hope they didn't overlook the druid. No, there it is. All druid specs are receiving the following abilities. Baseline abilities is Furious Bite, Bark Skin, Cyclone, Stampeding Roar, and Iron Fur. Heart of the Wild provides an option for druids who want to use off-roll abilities during combat. That's going to be pretty awesome, I think. Balance. Solar and lunar empowerments are being strengthened and updated into eclipses. Wrath and Starfire will grant each other alternating lunar and solar eclipses for a longer duration, with special moments of celestial alignment allowing both to occur at one time. Star Surge will extend the current eclipse to continue focusing power into either Wrath or Starfire. Starfall returns to its previous design instead of needing to telegraph the affected area. Balanced Druid again call down waves of stars which strike the surrounding ground while they stand, run, or flap for its duration. Okay. Kelly, just out of curiosity, what spec do you play for your druid? Blood Talon for Feral. When Feral Druids use Shred, Rake, and Furious Bite in quick succession, the damage of their next rip will increase dramatically. Guardian. Berserker, or Berserk, reduces the cooldown of Mangle, Thresh, Growl, Frenzied Regeneration substantially, while also halving the cost of Iron Fur. Renewal also returns as a talent choice, instantly healing the Guardian Druid for a fair bit of their maximum health. And then the fourth spec, which I've always found that interesting, that the Druid gets 4 specs, and it's the only one in the game that I'm aware of, unless I'm forgetting one, that has the ability for 4 specs. Restoration, Swift Mend, will return to its historic functionality of consuming heal over time effect on the target, but with substantially reduced cooldown and cost. Nature's swiftness will again allow regrowth, rebirth, entangling roots to be cased instantly. Nourish receives triple the boon from Mastery Harmony, which increases the healing of each active restoration heal over time spell on the target. So, according to what that sounds like, if you had two Resto Druids and they both put a heal over time on you, it's going to be massive. I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I play Feral, but most of the time I play. Okay. Most of the time I play Druid. Okay. Any other requests? We have still got a few, but we've not won over. We have won over Death Knight, Demon Hunter. Now we've done Druid, Hunter. We've still got Mage, Monk. We've already done Paladin. We've got Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, and that is it. So, does anybody have a request of which one they would like to see next? I'll give it a few seconds while I grab a drink. Hunter. Okay, I've already done the Hunter, but you know what? I'll do it again, just for those that have just now come in. Let me go ahead and bring it, find it. It's pretty low down in here, I guess, or either I've already pasted it. But hold on one moment and I'll find it and we'll go over it. Because I play Hunter myself, and I know where you're coming from. All Hunter specs are receiving the following abilities. Baseline abilities are Arcane Shot, Eye of the Beast, Hunter's Mark, Kill Shot, Scare Beast, and Tranquilizing Shot. Stable size will increase significantly. For Beast Mastery, Bloodshed. Bloodshed will allow Beast Mastery hunters to teach their companions to tear into their target. Unfortunately, the unfortunate quarry will bleed significantly, causing them to take more damage from their pet. Scent of Blood, reworked. This passive now activates the Bestial Wrath when it is used. Granting 2 charges of barbed shots to a bloody target, and empower their bonded beast to take down threats quickly. And no problem. Also, if anybody's in here, but this is your first time here, please do be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And I am back now, so I will be putting out a lot more content. So stick around for that. The Venomous Bite, reworked, moved to a Spitting Cobra's place in the talent tree. When Bestial Wrath ends, a Cobra will come to aid the hunter in combat. The Serpent's power will increase based upon how many times they use Cobra Shot during the Bestial Wrath. Pretty cool. Marksman hunters get Dead Eye. Cataclysm, right. The Dead Eye lets the hunter store 2 charges of Kill Shot, which is fantastic. It also makes aimed shot recharge faster for a short time whenever the Kill Shot is used. Binding Shackles causes enemies rooted by their baseline binding shot to deal less damage to the hunter for a short time after being released from the root. Okay, Kelly, Monk is next. The volley enables the marksman hunter to rain arrows down on a targeted area over a short period of time. It also empowers the hunter with trick shot buff, causing all of their aim shots and rapid fire abilities to ricochet and hit up to 5 additional targets for half the damage of the entire duration of the volley. Survival only got two things. Damage increased to Hydra Bite, Butchery, Steel Trap, Tip of the Spear, and Flanking Strike. Chakrams will also have a reduction in focus cost, so that's great. Moving right on to Kelly's request for the monk. All monk specs are receiving the following abilities. Baseline abilities: Expel Harm, Fortifying Brew, Spinning Crane Kick, and Touch of Death. Celestial, all 3 specs will be able to summon their Celestial to the battlefield with Invoke Zuan, the White Tiger, Invoke Niazo, the Black Ox, and Invoke Yulon, the Jade Serpent. Okay, now previously these was talents, but now it's going to be baseline. Okay, Brewmaster. Now Brewmaster, if I'm not wrong, Brewmaster is the tank. Am I mistaken? Again, I don't play a monk very often, but I believe that's the tank. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. Can now choose between one-hand and two-handed weapons again, which is great. Shuffle increases the amount of physical damage that is staggered when the monk uses one of several abilities, including Blackout Kick, previously called Blackout Strike, Keg Smash, and Spinning Crane Kick. Celestial Brew absorbs damage based on the Imbibber's attack power. Okay. Clash causes both the monk and their target to bull rush each other and in the epicenter of the conflict, root the opponent for a short time. Celestial Flames. Drinking Brews has a moderate change to grant Celestial Flames, which slightly increases the breadth of fire damage reduction and spreads its periodic damage effect to the targets struck with a Spinning Crane Kick. Exploding Keg immolates enemies on impact, binding them for a brief period of time. Invoke Niazo the Black Ox is now baseline, also reworked. It also deals additional damage based upon the staggering damage purified. Touch of Death. Now this has always been my favorite talent, no matter what, for the monk. Will also instantly kill creatures with less health than the monk. Oh wow! So if you go in and you have 90%, they have 80. Hit them with Touch of Death, they're gone. Also clears remaining staggering damage. Mistweaver. Invoke Yulon Jade Serpent is now baseline. Touch of Death now instantly kills creatures. Okay, it's the same as above, but it will also spawn healing spears for the allies. Invoke Chi G, the Red Crane. Reworked talent strengthens players' physical damage moderately, healing their allies for part of the damage inflicted on the enemies. Also makes Mistweaver monks immune to movement impaired abilities so that they can constantly be on the move during combat. Windwalker, and just so you guys know, we have a few more left. If there's any one thing that you want to see the next one, let me know. And as soon as I get done with Monk reading the Windwalker, we'll go ahead and jump straight into it. Windwalker can now choose between one and two-handed weapons. It's high time. Invoke Zeon, the White Tiger, is now baseline. Touch of Death can now kill any creature with less health than the Windwalker monk and spawn a chi spear that the Windwalker can consume to perform devastating blows. Danger of the Chi G has a moderate change to make the next spinning crane kick free and deals significant amount of extra damage to all that it strikes. Okay, so we still have a few left. We have Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, that I believe are the only ones, and Mage. That's the ones we have left. Anybody have a preference or a request on which one we do next? Let me know. I'll go ahead and get a drink and we'll get started. Sorry if you guys are hearing the gurgle gurgle from my bottle, but there's no other way I couldn't figure out a way to not have that possibility. Anybody got a request? If not, I'm just going to go up to the top and go down to the next one that we've not done, which will be Mage. And if you've not played a Mage before, you definitely should. It is fantastic. All Mage specs are receiving the following abilities. Baseline abilities will be Arcane Explosion, Fire Blast, Frostbolt, Mirror Image, Fire Ward, and Frost Ward. Alter Time has been reworked. When cast, this spell gives the mage the ability to return to their initial location. Wow. With the same health and mana after casting it a second time, or after a short duration. That's going to be freaking awesome. Focus Magic grants an ally a slight bonus to their spell critical hit chance. In addition, when the ally critically hits with the spell, the Arcane Mage receives the same boon for a short period of time. That's going to help a lot, and it's going to make the Arcane Mage be freaking awesome. Okay, Clear Casting has an additional stack. That's always a good thing. Mastery Savant now extends its damage increasing properties beyond Arcane Blast and Barrage to all spells. That's freaking awesome. Touch of the Magi is now baseline. Enlightened, while the Arcane Mage's mana is above a certain threshold, it empowers all arcane damage dealt by a moderate amount When below that threshold, it significantly increases the mana regeneration. So it's a win-win. Okay, that's going to be it's going to be hard. I don't know about for you, but it is going to be drastically hard for me to pick which character I'm going to play in Shadowlands. Okay. Next, we're going to look at Fire. Mastery Ignite reworked. Fire Blaze now serves as a catalyst when used against the enemy who is ignited. It spreads to up to 8 enemies close to your target. Wow. Blaze Wave now does more damage and an increased slow duration. Kindling combustion cooldown reduction is increased. The Pyroclasm damage bonus for Pyroblast increased. And Frost. Flurry's Winter Chill is now much longer debuff than that causes Frost Mage's next 2 spells to treat the target as frozen. A debuff that increases the critical hit chance from the Frost Mage and their allies against the target. So definitely mages are going to be getting awesome buffs, awesome changes. We do have Rogue, Shaman, and Priest, I believe is it. Oh, and Warlock. Any request? Anybody want to see one of their characters that they play next? Or if not, I'll go ahead and head back up and we'll do Priest. I'll give it a few seconds for someone to make a request. If not, we'll do Priest. And how many of you are looking forward to the Shadowlands? I know I am. Definitely, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a make it or break it kind of deal, in my opinion. So hopefully it's a make it, not break it. Okay, Kelly, do rogue. Here we go. All rogue specs are receiving the following abilities: instant poison, crippling poison, numbing poison. Shiv now allows concentrated version of poison to infect the target for a short duration. Pickpocket will frequently uncover new ingredients that can be mixed into their crimson vial, augmenting its power for the next time the rogue drinks it. So that's going to be awesome. I always liked the pickpocket. I always, kind of wished that we could pick the pocket of a lot of the NPCs that we can't, but can't have everything. Assassination, Shiv, bonus effect, provides a moment of increased nature damage on the victim, mirroring the gameplay of Toxic Blade. Poisons, stronger poisons applied to the blades faster and always infects targets when attacking from stealth. Ambush, initial attack from stealth. Blindside has a change to access ambush while out of stealth with a higher change on lower health. Toxic Blade reduces Shiv's cooldown. Outlaw, Roll of the Bones, which I've got to say I'm enjoying Roll of the Bones. I think it's an awesome thing. It's definitely something different. Um, Roll of the Bones removed combo points requirement for a modifiable cooldown, which can be manipulated to line up with their staggering finishing moves. Restless Blades. Frantic combat will reduce the cooldown of the Roll of Bones by spending combo points. Kidney Shot returns to Outlaw Toolkit between the eyes, making their foes more susceptible to their critical strikes instead of stunning them. Invasion or Evasion returns to the Outlaw's defensive ability. Reposit, I guess that's how that's said, is an upgrade talent option. Retractable Hook now also increases the speed of the rogue's grappling hook. Find Weakness, now this is for subtlety. Find Weakness attacks from the stealth and other abilities, allowing rogues to bypass the target's armor, but also causes additional shadow damage when they are struck by Eviscerate. Shadow Vault. Now it's a new AoE finisher, which also assaults targets with Defined Weakness for additional shadow damage. Dark Shadow, now passively part of the Shadow Dance that increases its cooldown. Rupture is a damage over time bleed finishing move. And we'll save Priest for last. Go ahead and do Shaman what time I'm here. All Shaman specs are receiving the following abilities: Chain Heal, Chain Lightning, Healing Stream, Totem, Flame Tongue Weapon, Flame Shock, Frost Shock, Lightning Shield, and Searing Totem. Elementals has had Maelstrom resources been removed, making elemental cooldown management more focused. Earth Shock builds stacks of fulmination to determine when to insert Earth Shock into the rotation. Earthquake, enabled by Chain Lightning and stacks of Seismic Thunder. Echoing Shock has been redesigned, placed a target for significant damage, and makes the next healing or damage spell cast a second shortly afterwards for free. So that's going to be awesome. Enhancement. Maelstrom resources has been removed, making enhancement cooldown management focused with high points built around repeat cast of Storm Strike, Chain Casting. Certain abilities will allow them to unleash devastatingly powerful cooldowns. Maelstrom Weapon attacks have a change to grant a stacking buff, which makes spells instant cast. I'm having not my day today on reading. Elemental Blast grants a powerful range attack option, which benefits from Maelstrom Weapon cast time reduction. Hellstorm has been redesigned, Using Storm Strikes to reset the cooldown of Flame and Frost Shock. That's awesome. Searing Assault, reimagined. Powerful fire attack strike the foe for a significant fire damage while causing Searing Totem and Flame Shock to deal damage much faster. Overcharge has been redesigned and generates 5 stacks of the Maelstrom weapon instantly and another stack every second for a short duration. Stormkeeper has been redesigned. Makes the next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightning cased instant with a bonus damage. Now benefits the Maelstrom or from Maelstrom weapon, lowering Stormkeeper's cast time in order to chain powerful abilities. Now Resto only got a couple different things. Earth Shield is now baseline. Surge of Earth expands a few charges of Earth Shield to significantly heal the target for several nearby allies. I'm going to take a drink. Guys, let me know which one you want to see next. Warlock or Priest. That's the 2 we have left. Just let me know which one you want to see. Okay, since nobody has let me know which one, I will go ahead and do Warlock. All Warlock specs are receiving the following abilities. Baseline abilities such as Curse of Doom, Curse of Tongues, Curse of Recklessness, Curse of Weakness, Demonic Circle. Tongue-tied, what I seem to be a lot today. Empowers spells cast on a target with Curse of Tongues, causing them to seal the victim from receiving healing. Ooh, I like that. Forcing them to succumb to incoming damage for a moderate amount of time. Ooh, I'll definitely, my Warlock may be getting pulled out of the mothballs. Affliction, unstable affliction, no longer stacks on the target, now laced for longer and no longer consumes a soul shard. Sow the seeds. Ooh, my eyesight must be going today too. Now embeds 2 additional seeds of corruption. Demonology. Dark Pact now scales with spell power to deal more damage than ever before. Dark Fury also increases the area of effect. Destruction. Warlocks will have Fire and Brimstone. Now generates 2 soul shards for each additional enemy struck by the Warlock's Incinerate. And finally, we're going to be wrapping it up on these, and then we'll be discussing it with the next one being, if I can find it, I hope I didn't go, and I did. 1 minute. Will be Priest, and here we go. All Priest specs will be receiving the following abilities. Mind Blast, Mind Soothe, Power Fusion, Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Pain. Power Infusion is reworked and it can now be cased on allies. Lights for Discipline, Lights Caress, enables Discipline Priests to heal their allies by blessing them with Power Word Barrier and healing them again if they still are under the barrier when it expires. Shadow Covenant rework. This instantly heals a chosen hero and four other injured allies with a small area and moderately increases the damage the priest deals for a short period of time, during which they cannot cast any holy spells. Mind Blast will provide powerful bursts of damage and atonement healing along with the absorption shield for a significant mana cost. Holy. Circle of Healing is now baseline. Prayer Circle empowers Circle of Healing, reducing the cast time of power or prayer of healing moderately for a short period of time when cased. And finally, Shadow. Death and Madness. Each time a target dies after being slain with Shadow Word Death, the Shadow's priest gains substantial amount of insanity over a few seconds. In addition, the Shadow Word Death resets instantly, ready to use for the next victim. Surrender to Madness. Now this one's one I never did care for myself, because in the end you kind of do die, you know. Reworked merging current Dark Ascension and Surrender to Madness. The Shadow Priest instantly gains a huge spike of insanity and casts Void Eruption on the target over a long duration. Insanity generating abilities grant 100% more insanity, and you can cast your spells while moving. However, if the caster fails to slay their target during the buff, they succumb to the shadows and die. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this seems like it's going to definitely be a lot of changes coming. And personally, I'm a big fan. I'm enjoying the changes I see. It is going to make it very hard for me to decide which class to play. But, you know, it is what it is. But what are your thoughts? Do you have any questions about my opinion on anything? Any comments, any questions? By all means, put them up, and I'll be sure to answer that. I do want to briefly touch base here on the Shadowlands class philosophy. Okay, it says, classes have evolved throughout WoW's 15 years of development, and so have our philosophies on the class design. With new expansions and an increasing level cap came new spells, abilities, and talents. While earning new powers is exciting and natural part of growth in a role-playing game, eventually we began to butt up against the limits of action bars and accessible keybind space. And many of the tools and perks that had once defined certain classes became increasingly widespread, diminishing class uniqueness. Now, to me, this is basically saying they give us too much, in their opinion, and they took some of it away. Well, now they're giving some of it back, not all, but some. And I just wanted to skip ahead here. Today in Battle for Azeroth, while specializations have unique and flashy abilities, we've heard feedback that in some cases we've moved too far away from the core of the class, and initially sparked players' interest when they first created their character. At times, there is more that divides two specializations of the same class than there is that unites them. Now, I happen to agree. In a lot of ways, they have went too far. They've given, they've taken some of the, well, for example, the curses for a warlock. But thankfully, they're back. Thankfully, they're back. And in the end here, they say, today we would like to give you a look at some of what is in store for each class, including an overall goal or our overall goals, some cool new and returning powers, and some key changes to abilities and talents. This isn't meant to be a comprehensive list of updates. These changes represent a starting point for a dialogue with the community, but this should give you a good overview of what to expect. So, personally, I'm happy with what I see. I'm very happy with what I see. I think it's going to be very awesome. Um, so, if you guys are have any opinions on it, let me know. Also, I'm not sure if you can see it, but let me try to go down just a little bit. Um, hold on. Get my camera resituated. Now, I'm wearing my Hulk gaming shirt. It is available in the merch store. If you're interested in that, let me know. And I will also be placing a link for the merch store in the description below. We already have one or two that I know of that have stated that they've placed orders and that they got their orders. They're happy with it, and I'm totally happy that you guys enjoy it. If there's any merchandise that you want, I'm currently looking into making some coffee cups, maybe some calendars in the near future, that kind of thing. Just let me know and I'll see what I can do. But for now, any questions before I close this, before I close out the chat, or the live stream rather. And I'm sorry if I seem a little off today. It's been a while since I've live streamed, and it's been a very long day. So, but I did want to get back out there. I wanted to let you guys know that hey, I am still here. I am not going away. I'm not quitting. I'm here to stay. But I am going to make one final plea. Please stay in, be safe, take care of you, your family, above all. This COVID-19 stuff is miserable. It is a killer. And I would not want to see any of you, I don't want to see anybody, even down to my worst enemies, get this stuff. So please, stay in, play your games, enjoy your games, and if you could, if you can, be sure to wash your hands. I don't care if you wash it 15 times a day, or 15 times an hour, or 15 times a minute. I don't care. Just keep safe. Because you guys may not realize it, but you're family. Okay? And I don't want any of my family in my home, in my town, or you guys, my extended family, to ever come down with something like this. So, any questions? Any comments? If not, I'll be ending the stream here in a couple of minutes. I bet, yes, I got logged out. It happens. But also, don't forget your 100% bonus XP. perfect time to now level your alts. I just today dinged 120 on another character. My goal is over the next few days before that buff ends on the 20th. I want to see all of these, so that's a total of 9. I want to see all of those go as close to 120, if not 120, as possible. That way I have an army of alts. And I'll be doing a video telling you how to prepare for Shadowlands and why you need an army. So, hopefully you've enjoyed the live stream. And I'll see you guys. It won't be this Saturday, but I'm going to try to get on a schedule a little bit, again soon. Also, I would like to know from you guys which day works best for you. Saturday, I've heard from some of you, is not good. I've heard some of you say, but Saturday is the best day ever for you. But some of you have said that it's not very good. So just let me know, and I'll do my best to see what I can do about making it as easy for everybody as possible. And until next time, have a great day. Enjoy World of Warcraft. Stay safe. And I'll see you next time.